Alright, so what we have here is a Taylor 357 that I absolutely love. Everything except for those plastic grips. So I searched far and wide for a piece of black oak that I could rob some grips out of. That's a lie. I stole it out of that black oak right there in the front yard. You can't see it. Hey, this is the first time I've ever done anything like this in my life. So come along with me. I don't think it's going to be the easiest thing in the world, but I don't think it's going to be all that hard. We'll see. Okay, I just want to expound on something I said earlier when I said I've never done anything like this before. I mean anything. I'm not a carpenter. I'm not a woodworker. This is not a how-to video. It's not a tutorial. I'll probably put it on YouTube just so I can share it with my friends, my family, my people. But that's it. You're following somebody that's a complete and total amateur, and we're going to see how it works out. I have managed to get a couple grips that I like. I've also done a couple grips that I didn't like. Put them to the side. I'll probably stain those just as a test. Probably just put some tongue oil or something on it and see how it looks. But this is what I think is going to be the most important part, and that's the spacer between the two plastic pieces, because obviously if it's a tiny bit too thin, then you don't glue it up, and I want to get that glue up, although I do plan to put some pins in through there. I want to get that glue up too, so you can't get it too thin. See how that presses together. They got a good little thing going. Like that's tight, boy. And of course you can't have it too thick, because then you're gonna have a gap, you know, between the handle and the frame. But anyway, so that's what I'm gonna do now. Cut out that spacer and work with that. So I got the spacer cut out, and then I went ahead and cut some like intersecting channels for that glue to sit in on that, and then also on the handle part. I decided I wouldn't mind some extra glue right around in here where the spacer will sit, like up against the spacer. Don't want a bunch on this side, because then I'm gluing it to the pistol, which wouldn't be the end of the world. I don't think I can scrape that off. Anyway, I'll go ahead and add way too much glue. Isn't that always the case? Just go ahead and let some of that sit on that inside spot that I was talking about. And then some things that I think I've learned here is that if you'll pull this hammer back, glue the pencil to that. If you'll pull the handle back, the hammer back, and then release it on something like this, it will add some pressure to that spacer. So now it's pushing it as far back as it can against the back of that frame, thereby eliminating any slop in there, so that when this thing fires, and by the way, I've checked the safety on this 500 times. If you're a safety Nazi, I'm the safety general. I'm your safety boss. I've been teaching firearm safety for a minute. It's true. Then I'm going to grip this up with something that's not crazy tight. I don't want to smush all that glue out, right? You tell me. I'm the one that's learning here. And get everything pushed into place. Just like that, baby. Oh, I'm digging it. I'm going to sit it right there. Not too tight, huh? And I don't remember. I don't care if this says it dries in 30 minutes. There it is, the maximum 30 minutes. I don't care. I'm going to let it dry 24 hours. Yeah. And we'll work on the other side. All right, so I got that glued up. I waited a lot longer than I said, which is fine. Now all I'm really doing is, I mean, you could do this with a ruler or anything, but I'm just getting a transfer of the space that I need for that spacer and transferring it over here. And then once I do enough of that, I'll just draw it in, and that just kind of gonna tell me where I need to glue. After I get them glued together, nope, getting ahead of myself. I'll go ahead and drill like maybe 3 of my pinholes through this side before I glue them together, and that way, once they're together, at least I'll know exactly where to drill all the way through both of them. And that'll give me exact dimensions, I guess you could call it, on those holes. So hopefully the pins will just go right through. Easy peasy, huh? I'm sure most of you know that after you get the handles glued up, now the only way to remove them will be to remove the back strap. These 2 screws, this one, and then your tiny little spring that goes in here. And if by some miracle, as if by some miracle, I didn't glue it to the frame. So anyway, now gonna drill all the way through. I think I will soak that in some more glue, so some good spaces to do that. And then I don't have, I guess they call that a stepped bit. I don't have one that's small, so I did go ahead and just widen these holes a tiny bit. I think I'm gonna widen them a little bit more and have kind of a ladder step for that brass to smash into. So that's next. For all the songs I love, 2, for all the songs I forgot I love, and 3, for the songs I didn't know. Pins peened in. Unfortunately, being a novice at it, they're not mushrooming out completely to fill my holes, so just kind of filled those in with some glue that I colored with some brass shavings and stuff. Come out looking too bad. I tried 3 or 4 different waxes and oils and stuff. Didn't find anything I liked, so I just hit it with some Renaissance wax, and it's time to put that baby back together. You know, if there's one thing I hate about YouTube videos more than people that make a 28-minute video with 2 minutes worth of content is a firearm video where they leave out the best part, which is testing the firearm, right? So we gotta take this baby out back. See how she does.